And so, what I'm going to talk about today is loyalty programs. So, with loyalty programs, when your client goes on a cruise or on an airline or on a land program, any of that, there's always loyalty programs within those brands. And they will incentivize your clients to come back to them. And it will connect as a travel advisor to you. Again, some of them do have loopholes you have to kind of like jump through in order to get those bookings connected. But I wanted to go over that today. So I want to talk about, not leaving any money on the table, my experiences. So I'm just going to talk about what I experienced and how I leverage that and use that to make more money. And then we talk about your experiences. So if you can't be here live today, that's okay. You can put your experiences in the chat below. So what brands you like to work with, what you've experienced in terms of loyalty programs and how it keeps clients coming back. I think that's a great thing to talk about. My experiences specifically are going to be the ones that I'm going to talk about because it was just happening to me these past few weeks, which is why I wanted to chat about it today. Is Sandals Resorts. I've also in the past had it happen to me with Virgin Voyages cruise line, which is amazing. And then also just remembering that there is the opportunity for it to be land, air, cruise, and group. So I just got that little note down there. All right, let me do one more technical thing and I'll be right with you. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Mine's that. All right, so what I'm gonna do real quick is just go into my email and I'm gonna show you what my client sent me before when she got home. So my client was at Sandals Resorts. She absolutely loved it. Now, before my clients leave, I always send them an email and I just explain to them how the loyalty and travel works at the resort, that it gives them extra bonuses. And I definitely like took the verbiage and put it into ChatGPT just so that I would, make it exciting, make it a little bit like it's a secret, right? And people love a good deal. So could you imagine sending someone to on a vacation or anywhere and they didn't know about the perks, right? If they went to a restaurant and didn't know that it's buy five, get one free, anything like that, right? So telling people all about the perks, I think is a really important part of the business. Honestly, you don't want to let them leave them out of those perks, but you might have to understand what the perks are, right? So like it's funny because as travel advisors, we might go on vacations and we don't get the perks because we go on travel advisor rates. So we do have to still understand the perks, and we became privy to that too as travel advisors when we asked a little bit more when we got on resort. Okay, so what I want to show you is what I send them via email, and I also put in their itinerary prior to them leaving, and make sure that they are prepared for the opportunity for more discounts. So if they're on property and they absolutely love it, and I tell them just go and just ask, and they honestly, the resort will educate them on their other um, destinations or other locations. It might even look at dates with them. And I always tell them you don't have to book right then. You can just get the information, say, okay, thank you so much. And, we'll think about it, go back, spend another couple days on vacation. And then if you feel interested, go ahead and book. And I always tell my client it's only available when you're on the vacation. So when you're on the premise of that destination. So here's the interesting thing. My client emailed me back and said she got the offer extended up to 7 days after her return. And I was like, I've actually never heard of that. So I thought it was really important for me to open up my Zoom and kind of tell you. So let me find, I should have pulled this up first. All right, let me find right here hers and then go to the preview, and then I'll show you exactly what I put into her contract, right? So I do a lot of Sandals resorts, so I kind of have a template for exactly how I want these itineraries to flow and all of the information that I want to send to them, right? So I send them their contracts, I send them their airline contract, and then I remind them to stop by the Sandals Loyalty and Travel Desk. And I actually have this a little lower down in the information until they're about ready to go. So about a week prior to, and then I present them and pull this all the way up in their itinerary, and I send it to them in an email. So they're like, okay, you got one more week now. You should be in the packing mode. You should be ready to leave, putting your out of office on, getting that scheduled. And here's the perks that I want you to pay attention to when you're on your vacation, right? So I write, thank you again for choosing to work with us for your upcoming Sandals and Beaches Resorts trip. Before you leave, I wanted to share my favorite tip that you can find at all Sandals and Beaches Resorts. It's the secret to getting those incredible discounts that keep couples coming back year after year. And honestly, it is the secret. I've been on property, and that's exactly what people tell me. They're like, "Oh, before we leave, we just go to the loyalty and travel, and we just book our next trip." I'm like, "Okay, I guess this is the secret, right?" So I write, near the check-in desk, you'll find the loyalty and travel office. Make sure to stop in this office at least once in the beginning of your trip to hear the promotional discounts that they have coming up. The bonus secrets is you can always come back and see if they'll negotiate an even better deal. So I've heard that too. I don't know if that's absolutely positive. It might, be case by case as to what they have available, right? So those discounts are generally 10 to 12% off the best rates available. And that specifically for sandals is just dependent on, is it the low category, the mid category, or the high category that they're choosing? So if they go with a higher category, even incentivizes them, they will get 12% off. And this is stackable. That's the most important thing. Okay. So I write, these promotions are only available to book while you're a guest on property. This is by far the best way to receive the steepest discount possible, ones that I'm not able to offer you on my own. So I'm not. I can give them all the promos in the world. I can give them like a honeymoon package. I can give them the anniversary night free. I can apply whatever promos are going on right now. I can keep an eye on the promos, but I can't give them this additional 10, 11, 12% incentive that the loyalty and travel desk can. All right, so I write, and it's important to note these discounts are stackable, so you're still able to apply like military, police, fire discount, 10% off. That's for those 777 deals is like the additional 7% that they run every 7 days on 7 categories. So you can add that. If when you come home you see a resort you like better, don't worry about it. We can change the booking, and your discount comes with you. So the best part is you only need to put $250 down. So at some point this might change, but right now it's just $250 down. You can push it all the way out 2 years. You can still move that date. You can change resort. You can change room category. If a promotion comes up and you're feeling feisty and you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to try that resort, just they can reach out to me and they can switch the booking. And there's no penalty with it. And at the very worst, if they choose to never ever go to Sandals again, they've only lost a $250 deposit that they put down. So it's very low commitment when a normal deposit is usually $400. Okay, so once you're home, this is the biggest thing with Sandals. They have to let you know that they took advantage of the special. So I always reach back out. I'm like, I hope you had a great trip. Let me know if you did visit the loyalty and travel desk so that I can get it back under our agency, right? And most of them come back and already tell me how wonderful it was and that they already booked their next one. Here's their contract. They literally just send it to me. And I'm like, oh gosh, thank you. But what I have to do is I have to give them kind of a template of the information that they need, Sandals needs, in order to transfer it back under my agency. The biggest things with Sandals, and there's lots of webinars on that. And I did actually have this. So if anybody needs it, I clicked through the whole thing in the webinar and the examples. This is all the pages. So it's like 15 pages of ideas of the things, but this is basically, it has to say email to booking change at uvltd.com, subject transfer the booking number, hello, and then this is what they have to send from their email to booking change at uvltd.com, basically letting them know that they want to transfer back to their travel advisor. But you have to have been the travel advisor on the previous booking. So if they booked it themselves and then they go to the loyalty and travel and they find, because you told them, you can't actually take it because you didn't have the original booking. So they will actually, I'll need to add that. You need to actually have the original booking that they just traveled on and the one that they book for the future. So that's important to know. So basically, I send that to them already filled out because they're not going to know my IATA number. They're not going to know my agency name, any of that stuff. And then I just say, hey, take this email, have it originate from your email. You can CC me on it. And then I keep in touch when I get the confirmation from Sandals. So that's what that looks like. And that is basically how I communicate that to them. So I take a little picture. This is a picture that I took when I was there of the loyalty and travel desk, so they know what they're looking for when they get there. It's right near registration, so it's pretty simple. I let them know luxury is an extra 10, club and concierge is 11, and butler is an extra 12. And then I just say, wishing you a safe and amazing time. Okay. So that is Sandals. And if you know anything about Sandals, they treat their guests wonderfully, right? Like I am never even hesitant to send anyone. There's never anybody who's come back and said they'd had a difficult time or any, like the food wasn't good. There's never, ever a complaint. If anybody says like it rained a day or two, that's like the worst complaint I get. And I have had now like 1, 2, 3, probably 5 or 6 of my last bookings have done this. So just this little message that I put in the itinerary, and I also send it via email a week prior to, as they're getting ready, they're like, what else do we need to know, right? This is what they want. So I send that to them, and that has resulted in easily 6 rebookings. And everywhere, they're like, 2 years out to the next year, their anniversary. Now they're going to invite more people. It's a great tool. So definitely take advantage of that. Don't leave any money on the table. And then the next one I want to show you was I had clients on Virgin Voyages, and this is actually a year or two ago, and they actually did not have a great time. But I told them about this loyalty program, and they ended up booking another one. And I remember saying, "I thought you didn't have a good time, but you booked your next cruise." And she's just like, "Yeah, we're going to try it again." I was like, "Okay." Or maybe it was because their friends had invited them, and they knew they might get invited again. And again, it was a very low deposit, so they actually did that. And they can move the date, so they don't have to know the exact dates that their next vacation is. They can just pick a date and time. They're like, maybe I'll do this again in 2 years in the fall. They can kind of take a wild guess as to what resort. Maybe they want to see another resort in that destination. If there's the stay and play. So maybe they saw another resort while they were there and they want to try that one, or a different room category, and they want to just relive that same experience, but maybe with an ocean view or a butler room. Maybe they want to upgrade. The prices are great. The discounts are amazing. It's absolutely worth it. So that's Sandals specifically. And then this Virgin Voyages, I just wanted to pull up here because it actually just came in my email a few days ago. It basically says the placeholder digest. So welcome to, let's see, Virgin Voyages, what my next Virgin Voyage placeholders is all about. So this is just communication that they sent us as travel advisors. So they're saying it's an exclusive opportunity for you to elevate your sailor's next voyage and boost your earnings at the same time. So empower them to unlock up to $500 in value. So that's the bonus that they give if someone books while they're on the ship. Okay. With a $150 deposit placed while they're still on board. Okay. And some cruise lines will do onboard credit right then and there. So they'll get like $250 that they can use on the cruise while they're already on the cruise. And that's why a lot of people do that. But this one is up to $500 in value for the next voyage. Okay. And then the deposit is lower. It's only $150. So it says the offer's value is based on the length of the sailor's next voyage. The longer they sail, the more they save. So how it works, so they can place a $150 deposit to reserve an open deposit called a placeholder. So they'll have 2 years to sail to take advantage of these exclusive savings. When your sailors are ready to book, their $150 deposit previously paid will go toward the 20% due. Okay, got it. So then the next Virgin Voyage offer value will be activated below based on the voyage length selected. Okay, so 4 to 5 nights, $150 off and $150 onboard credit. 6 to 8 nights, $200 off, $200 onboard credit. 9+ nights, $250 off, $250 onboard credit. Okay, so that's what they do. And you will be able to see below is a list of your sailors who have existing. Okay, so I should have one right there, but I just want to kind of scroll down to it. But I do have somebody who has that placeholder right now. And I think the other one that I've seen do it is Norwegian Cruise Line. So they have purchased, they call it Cruise Next while they were on board. You can pull up a report of people whose names that you're associated with because they booked with you previously, and then they booked it when they were on the cruise that you had booked them. So it's automatic money. I think she was literally on like day 3 of her cruise and she rebooked, and I got an email immediately saying your client has booked their next voyage. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. She must be having an amazing time. So I was very excited for her. Okay, so that's 2 examples for you guys. And then if you guys need, I have all of this, and I can even get you kind of to the webinar where Sandals talks about their loyalty and travel and all the stipulations and all the how it all works. And then let me see. So Sandals, Virgin Voyages, so land, air, cruise, and group. So basically, you think about any brand you book with and just check into what their loyalty is. So I know that with groups, I work with Colette, and I know that Colette incentivizes previous travelers. For land, that would be something like Sandals or any other resort like Rio or Iberostar, Secrets, Dreams, any of those all-inclusive resorts. I'm sure they're going to incentivize your people to come back. Air would be like booking directly with the airline. They're going to start earning miles. They're going to offer them credit cards and things like that. Same thing with cruises. So just keep an eye out with all that, and then keep an eye out to what the rules are. The last one little thing I'm going to show you was the bonus that I was like, wait a second, that's wild. Remember how I said that they only offer it when you're on resort? My client texted me and she said, we have just like till the end of today, the offer was extended. And I was like, wait, I've never heard of this before. So this must be a new one. And they got this email. It says offer extended up to 12% off your next stay. So hurry, this extended offer expires in 7 days. Exclusive loyalty discount, get an additional up to 12% off, and then book now. So they do have to book through this link. So I can educate them, right? So I can go back and forth with her. We can pick the best resort, the best room category, the best dates to optimize what it is they're looking for, because they've only been to one resort. Maybe they want to try it different. But basically, I just couldn't believe that they got this offer extended. And then they had 7 days to do it. They could book Sandals, they could book Beaches. And then as soon as they book it, they just have to send me the information, and then we have to get it transferred back under our agency. So that was how that worked. And now I've got a future booking, just because Sandals does such a great job. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that was helpful. I know you guys might be watching this at a recording, so feel free to put in the comments maybe what brand, land, cruise, air, groups, brand that you work with that has a loyalty program, what the loyalty program is. Again, I'm very familiar with Cruise Next, because on Norwegian they do that, and they have a whole seminar when you're there talking about all the upcoming itineraries. So they're basically like educating your clients on the different ships, the different itineraries, and then the different promotions. So they're doing our job for us, and they're not overloading them because they're already there. They're already in love with the brand. So I think it's a